Hey, blessings and love. Project Rip Jones and
Hey y'all, Monica Jones coming at you with our
second
second episode.
for Together in Contrast. And y'all see the sun just changed. This episode, we're going to talk about expectations.
Yeah.
So, you got unrealistic expectations, and then you have some realistic expectations. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll let you start.
Well, so and last week we talked about how our relationship we've been together for 28 years, so we started off very young.
Yep.
And I felt like when we first started out being together, we had, well, I know I had very unrealistic expectations, and they carried on for a very long time. For example, like I felt like we were supposed to spend every waking moment together.
Right.
Like literally, we were supposed to be together all the time. He had to call me all the time. I had to know what he was doing, who he was with. Which is funny, people still like that right now, So, some of y'all is like that control I had to know. And I just
You not still like that?
no, maybe. No, real talk. Okay, sometimes, but I feel like I, control it more, and I want you to be freer, and I want myself to be a freer person as well. So now I don't expect you to be with me. I need alone time. I do cherish like before I didn't cherish my alone time, and I didn't want to be alone.
Right.
But I cherish my alone time, especially after having kids and stuff. I respected being alone and by myself more, and that's when you start to understand yourself more. Understand just like when because we got together so young, I didn't know myself without him. I didn't know who I was without him and stuff. So and that's when insecurities come in, and things like that, and that's and then when the other person is growing and being able to be by themselves and you not, that leads to also
you feeling
the
like
structure in the marriage is
because you feel like the person don't want to be with you, all that type of stuff.
And a dynamic, and it comes from too, like with our expectation, it comes from our parents and how we grew up. So like, my mom, for instance, she was with my dad. They got together young in high school, and then got married and all of that type of stuff. And so me seeing that's kind of like the way that I, wanted, and he would do sneaky stuff. So, that kind of shaped my dad.
Okay.
So that kind of
I want to get it on record. When you say stuff like that, you got to say it.
I'm saying my dad, not you. Yeah. No, you're a very truthful person. So, and that's what you expect, which is a healthy expectation.
A
realistic expectation is for, your spouse to be truthful and upfront with you and open and honest. Communication,
Yep.
But do we do that? No, not us in particular, but I'm saying just people in relationships, honestly, when you ask yourself, do you, are you being truthful? Are you being open and honest? Now, him, character-wise, that's just the way he is.
Right.
My husband is. He just says.
I'm going to say what I need to say.
He mean what he say, and he say what he mean. And he's just an upfront person, upstanding person like that. Now me on the other hand.
Upstanding? Oh, I don't know about upstanding, but I'm sure going to tell your ass.
now me on the other hand, I'm not going to say I'm a liar.
She's a liar.
And he's one of them people that be like, if you say something, and I'm not saying it's not the truth, but it could be how you feeling at the moment, and then you change your mind. He like, that's a lie. And I'm a person
No.
Lies are a gray area for me. They're little white lies, and
right. Don't say the kind of lies that I think is
a person who say a lie is a lie.
A lie is a lie.
And I'm, like there's gray areas.
A lie is a lie.
I'm saying.
A lie is a lie.
As far as with a lie.
A lie is a lie.
But as you can see, that's one of the things that I'll be like.
That's what we have.
I need some understanding. Maybe
communication issues.
How y'all feel about
a realistic expectation is communication. So, you had to communicate.
Yeah.
You had another realistic one is respecting each other.
Yeah.
Respect. And
respect.
So with the communication part, I let it be known what I feel like is a lie, right out the jump. So even since we was little.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I do say a lie is a lie. You know what I'm saying? White lies, black lies, blue lies. Lies.
Yeah.
When you talk, because I feel like in a relationship, when y'all talking to each other, it's like, if you can't be 100% with a person, then of course you just work up to it. But we've been together 28 years. So when does the white lie and the blue lie turn into the no lie?
And I'm working on being more open and honest.
Right.
And truthful. Because it started, because you got to be truthful with yourself.
Yep.
And I had to really work on that. And he's been very patient. And I think that too, that's another thing as, with expectations, you have to be patient with your spouse, because unrealistic, that gives me another one that I did participate in as far as being unrealistic, wanting your partner to respond the way and act the way you think they should or that you want them to act, And
I always tell her, you can't expect me to do nothing the way you think of it.
Right. And because too, we are totally different people.
Yep.
I'm very I'm non-confrontational. I would say I don't really like to argue about anything, and I'm a people pleaser. Well, not people, but I'm a him pleaser. So I didn't but if I felt like I didn't respond a certain way, that I held my tongue or something, I expected him to do the same.
Right.
But in him being his true self, he knew, that's how he is.
Right.
He gonna respond the way he responds.
So that's another realistic expectation is, expecting the person to be who they are.
Right.
But also expecting growth.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because nobody gonna respond how you want them to respond.
Right.
Except when you know that a person, you can take advantage of a people pleaser.
Yeah.
But me, I'm the type, I want you to say what you say and mean what you say.
Yeah. Because that's what causes...
Because I'm a consequence person.
Right. And that's what causes bitterness.
Right.
In a relationship. I would get, very bitter because, he was so open, and he, the way he responded, the way he answered, he was just being him, and I was not being myself, so I was mad.
Right.
And so that caused a lot of where I would hold everything in, and then I would just explode.
Right.
And that's not his fault.
Right.
That is not. I can't expect him, and I can't expect him to be a mind reader,
right.
So I'm expecting him to know, how I am, how I feel, my type of mentality.
Right. And I would ask her,
yeah.
if a person asks you and you can't give the answer that you want, then I'm gonna take your answer. I'm gonna take your answer, and so you can't be mad at me because I took your answer.
And that goes back to growing up. when I was growing up, my mama, she didn't really, we didn't get spanked, we didn't get yelled at for real. My whole family was just really like, goes back to my grandmother. We did hide things, hold things in. You ain't let nobody know your business, and we didn't really argue, we didn't really fight. So it was just, I didn't form that, I don't feel like I formed those communication skills, to really be able in a relationship to really be able to communicate how I truly felt about things. You know, we just didn't. I didn't talk back to my mama. My mama didn't talk back to my grandmama. And you just, you didn't like something somebody said, you just held it in. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think your grandma did that with your grandpa.
No, they did argue a lot. They did argue a lot.
So, but it's stuff that you wouldn't pay
things,
attention to, like
as a kid, and there was still things unsaid. They was arguing about like petty stuff. It wasn't really, you didn't hear about real. I want to say getting really in deep in things.
Yeah,
like
because
even my father and my mother relationship, I didn't know they had an issue until it was toward the end.
But you wouldn't. But as a kid, you wouldn't. If you don't pay attention, if you not. See, I'm the type that pay attention to stuff. So even as a kid, I would be, if I'm hearing something, like I'm like analyzing even what it's about. And that be the difference too.
And that's the difference.
That's part of the difference that's the together in contrast right there.
I'm a little more, I'm definitely, I ain't gonna say a little, I'm more self-involved, self-absorbed, so I don't.
But you nosy.
I'm nosy, but I ain't.
That don't mean you analyze stuff though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
So.
But me, like I say, cause even my mother, her relationships, seeing my grandmother when I was young and her relationships, and I watched how they communicated, and plus my grandmother always told me, and my mom too, they always told me to, just say what you gotta say.
Yeah.
And basically deal with the shit later. Whatever the consequence is, you gotta stand on what you say and be able to deal with the consequence. And if you can deal with the consequence, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, because it's gonna come out, and I've learned that over the years that it's gonna come out either way.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be able to get it out and discuss it, and and work through it.
Mm-hmm.
Because and then my other expectation is that we should never fight. We should never have an argument. We should always agree.
Yeah, so that's an unrealistic expectation, right?
I definitely was like, you should agree with me and be on my side on everything,
right.
Even if I'm wrong.
Right.
Don't tell me I'm wrong. It's like,
right.
Yeah, that's
and y'all know that's unrealistic, because with that type of stuff, you get some people who are like that. They gonna agree with everything, and then they gonna go home, or they gonna inside themselves feel a certain way. That means they not able to be themselves. So then, y'all already know everything is a snowball effect.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like she said before, the explosion. So me, I ain't gonna just agree with your shit just to agree with your shit. Like,
right.
I'm you gonna say something. If it sounds stupid to me, I'm gonna say that shit sounds stupid.
And he will say it just like that,
I won't say that shit sounds stupid. I'll just be like, it ain't, it don't make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'll tell you. I'll tell you if it don't make sense.
Right. And I think, like you were saying about growth, I think an expectation that people actually really overlook is that you should expect your partner to grow. You should.
That's what I said. Yeah.
You did. And I think that a lot of people don't have that as one of their expectations.
Yeah.
Like, you should want your partner to grow, because if they're growing, then they're gonna. If you're not growing, you could start growing. From watching them and from experiencing stuff with them. You're gonna grow.
Yeah. And I think that. Well, I can't say for everybody's relationship, but just what I'm seeing, because I don't feel like nowadays communication is that good. Everything is forced on people. Like, I want you to be this way. You got to agree with me on
Yeah.
this, like that.
Yeah.
So,
and watching shows and, you know.
but all of that is leading to, if you want me to be a certain way, that means I can't grow in myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You putting a person in a box.
That's like I want you to make my coffee every single day. I want you to make my coffee every single day. You know what I mean? I want you to do, it's certain stuff that I got in my brain myself too. I want every single day, like you got to be knowing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And is it realistic? It's not really realistic. You know what I mean? And so, and be mad as hell when like the coffee ain't made.
Right. Like the breakfast.
Like I gotta tell you to make the motherfucking coffee. You made it yesterday.
Right. Like that was yesterday. And I think that we take each other, being together for so long, you end up taking, things for granted, because you're like, this. We do this all every day, and I think that, as an expectation, you need to have where we need to change. We need to spice it up. We need to do something different.
So expectation is to change. Yeah. Because you cannot grow without a change happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. So, but I mean, y'all, like with the communication, as I keep saying, to me, that's the key. As soon as a man and a woman get together, they need to communicate flat out. So the whole thing is, y'all can have some set stuff that y'all have, and it's like, this is that.
Right.
But you got to understand too that it's still not going to happen every single time.
Yeah.
It's still not going to happen because somebody going to get sick. Anything
so
can
happen.
happen.
Be flexible.
Mm-hmm.
Flexible. And that's what, my expectation is that you're flexible. I'm going to be flexible.
Right.
We're going to be patient with each other.
Yep.
Patient in the times where sometimes in our point in life, we can be stuck.
Yep.
To have that empathy.
I just got bit by a damn mosquito. That's one expectation that in my living space I cannot have.
Being outside.
Mm-hmm.
Do not bite me.
Yeah.
But yeah, just, having empathy for one another and understanding that, maybe I'm at a point in my life where I'm not, feeling motivated and I'm not feeling the best. Just, be my, I expect you to, be my cheerleader and my helpmate, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you see that in me, and I think that that's what we have to. I expect you to pay attention to me, and I'm gonna pay attention to you.
Yep.
I'm gonna have your back, and you're gonna have my back. And I think that if we, and that's teamwork.
Yep.
So we didn't talk about this stuff. When
we were young,
we did not go through this type of stuff. We didn't talk about this. We just was going through, having,
no, I would say shit. I would say stuff about most of the stuff that we talking about.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
it's not, cause, cause like one of the main things I used to talk about when we was young is your happiness.
Right. Now, the one, he is correct. The one thing that he told me that did change the trajectory, because I was very unhappy for a very long time because of what I expected out of him, what I wanted, what I felt I needed, that he was not giving me. And one of those ones was I expected him to provide my happiness, to make me happy. And he told me that I cannot make you happy. You have to make you happy. He basically told me that's a you problem.
Yep.
That is a problem for you. And at first it hit me like bricks. I was devastated.
Yep.
But as time went on and I sat with myself, because I had to really do some soul searching, and I sat with myself, but that helped me to start sitting with myself and start questioning, like, how was I being? Why was I expecting him to do something that I couldn't even do?
Exactly.
I couldn't make myself happy, and that's when things started to change, when I started to really do some soul searching. And that was the other thing that he told me, that I needed to know who I was. I needed to find myself.
Yep.
you know, because he was out there, you know, doing his thing, you know, going through experiences, and I wasn't going through experiences. I was very, very stagnant. I was very still,
Yeah.
you know, and so, you know, and that's when I started to really go in depth and try to figure myself out. And that's when I realized that, you know, I need to make myself happy and know what makes me happy.
Exactly.
And then I can start to say, hey, could you do this? Could we do this?
Yeah.
Because there are specific things. It's not just think about it and make me, you know, happy. Think of, you know,
But that's how
this.
right. Because that's how it was in
Right.
the unrealistic part.
Right.
It's like
You know.
be in my head and know what the fuck I'm looking for.
Because I don't know. And it's like a kid, you know, when a kid be walking around pouting and they be upset,
I got bit.
you know, they be walking around pouting and upset. You know, you be like, what's wrong? Come here. You want me to, you know, and you do that for children, but not for your spouse. You don't want to have a child-parent relationship in a marriage.
Right.
Which a lot of y'all have that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want him to be my son. I don't want to treat him like my son and take care of him like that.
Right.
I want him to be a man.
Yep.
I want him to act like a man, and I'm going to treat him like a man, just like he going to treat me like a woman.
Right.
You know? So,
yeah.
I think that his words really helped me. He said some cutthroat stuff,
and that was
deep, and he didn't even know how deep like it was at the time, being so young.
Look, I knew it was deep.
You know?
I knew it deep. I knew it was deep. I knew it was gonna hit her because that's what was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know, and with how, you know, people are how they are, and you got people who, you know, basically they already understanding who they are. Mm-hmm. So even from a young age, I already was knowing basically the type of person that I am. And of course I'm still growing and stuff.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of stuff already, it was already in me. You know what I mean? So just like I say, communication, keeping it honest, you know, respecting each other.
Adapting, being flexible.
Yep.
You know, I'm open and honest.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you should be able to, if y'all been together for a long time, you should be able to really say, you know what, hey.
Why are you getting closer and closer in my area?
Because I love your space. I love your energy.
But you gonna be in my video. She right now, see, she ain't giving my space. Talking about she like her personal space.
That was the other thing. Yeah, I got
like her personal space.
I'm a very, you know, clingy person, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and accepting your spouse for who they are.
Yeah.
You know, and I had to accept myself too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I had to accept the type of person I am and who I am, and not feel guilty about it, or not try to change myself so much that
you lose yourself.
Mm-hmm. You know, I know who, you know, I am now. I am, you know, a clingy person, and I like to, you know, be held and, you know, and kissed on and you know, all that type of stuff. So, you know, and I understand that he may not be that person all the time. Right. You know, so it's like those type of things. You know, and I tell him, hey, I need a hug. You gotta tell, you know, your spouse.
Just talk.
If you know how you are, you got to say.
Yeah.
They, you know, we not mind readers, and I don't want to read his mind. I don't want to have to anticipate. You know, I want him to tell me just like he always has. Yeah. He'll tell me what he wants and
see, that's another thing. That's another thing. Excuse me. Everybody have the tendencies though. Like as far as certain stuff you won't even talk about. Because one of our other episodes, we're going to talk about like sex and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And so in different departments, you might be more quiet, more, you know what I'm saying? So you can't expect a person like to be aggressive with everything, or, you know, a person to be laid back with everything, you know? And so, man, we got so much shit to talk about. Like, yeah, it's just so much to talk about. But I wanted to talk about these expectations though today, you know. And what else you got?
I feel like that's, you know, pretty much, you know, like what I wanted to get out, you know, because I still, be working through with the whole like being able to be flexible, and I have to sometimes check myself as far as like what I be expecting,
Right.
because I still be expecting, if I say something and he respond a certain way, I have to be like, ooh, let me breathe.
Right.
Let me not blow up and get upset or get offended.
Right.
Because I get easily offended if like he say something in a certain tone, but that's just me.
Right.
That's me projecting. You know what I'm saying? Because especially if I'm already upset and he may just be responding. A lot of times he's just responding. And I'm not checking how I'm coming at him either. So I do, especially right now, I'm doing a lot of analyzing when I have a conversation. I'm paying attention to my body language. I'm paying attention to his body language. I'm paying attention to the things he says, how he says them, and I'm paying attention to how I say them and how I react. Because that's giving me some feedback and giving me some more understanding of our dynamic.
Right.
And is, and making me understand it. Is this, the trajectory that we're on? Are we on the same page? Am I understanding him correctly? You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's, we do need to, it's work. It's every day. It's an everyday thing. It's like my homework every day. I don't want to just go through the day and be like, it's like a blur. No, I want to learn from every moment with him, because that's how we're going to strengthen ourselves. That's how we're going to strengthen our relationship. So I just really just be like, questioning everything and looking into, okay, so now how did that interaction go? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that is, we're having really healthy interactions right now and communicating.
When you
really
gonna stop? Well, that's what I'm wondering. So, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I can go on and on. I can go on and on because
we're gonna be revisiting this for sure. But go ahead. I'm just joking with you. I'm just talking stuff because that's what I do.
Tell us like some of y'all expectations. Like what's going on in y'all relationships. And
I be joking with her because I know somebody in the comments like, man, I don't like the way you be doing. Even though I don't care about none of that.
And everybody's relationship is different.
How they relationship is. Yeah.
Like,
I'm
so
always
I don't need nobody help. I don't need no protection. I don't need nobody to say nothing.
No, because can't nobody protect you.
This is how we are.
Boy.
But real talk, let me know like what, what expectations you all had or have now, and you feel like they're not being met, and have you communicated about it? Have y'all talked about it?
Right.
And if y'all had and you still feel a certain type of way, like have y'all ever talked and you be like, you still feel like,
hey, do you expect your wife to make you coffee? Hey, is your wife, do you expect her to be a traditional wife or do you expect her to be a modern wife?
Right. What type of
we gonna be talking about this.
What type of wife? What type of husband are you? Are you?
Are you a beta male or
right? Whatever the
all that type of stuff.
So,
but yeah, y'all. Hey, I think
this was nice.
Monica, she, y'all see, I let her run. I didn't jump in. I let her run today. So
I still be needing a little more.
We're gonna be revisiting this for sure.
Yeah, and this was a good topic. I like this.
Yeah, we're gonna be revisiting it, so y'all can expect it.
Yeah.
But we don't know what the next episode is gonna be about yet. Or did we talk about that?
No. But it'll be.
We'll let y'all know.
It'll be real nice.
Yeah, because they gonna get deeper and deeper, and we gonna, as we get more free. We're talking about our own personal shit, it's gonna get real, more real.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Blessings and love, y'all.
Bye.
All right. Later.